What is your why? Do you want dynamic growth? Do you feel stuck? It's time to fix your why.
Hello and welcome to the Fix Your Why podcast. I am Billy Ryan and my guest today is Natalia Nakamura with Divine Med Spa. Hello, Natalia, and thank you for being with me today.
Hello, thank you.
Maybe just take a short, brief bio of who you are and what Divine Med Spa is all about.
Okay, well, my name is Natalia Nakamura, and I am part owner of a med spa in Colleyville, Texas. And we just took it over in June. So it has been a learning curve, but I have loved every second of it. So we have really just taken a spa that was already there, and we're really trying to turn it around and basically give it a facelift. And yeah.
That's awesome. I'm anxious to hear more about it. You shared with me your passion about helping women feel comfortable and confident.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit more about that.
So before I got into this industry, I was actually in the fitness industry, and I ran an all-female studio. And so it's crazy how it all ties together. So I did leave an industry, but my why is still the same with the med spa. To me, I took fitness where everyone wants to look good and feel healthy and on the outside. But it all starts inside here, mentally, and inside your heart. I think that's where beauty comes from, because if you're beautiful on the inside, it will project outwards. So I always try to help women realize that just because they might not look the way they want to on the outside doesn't mean they can't fix on the inside first, right? So we've got to fix that. And then you'll stop seeing all those flaws, right? You'll be like, you know what? Just because I don't really like maybe my hips or whatever it may be, I still think I'm beautiful no matter what, And so same thing with the med spa, we do facials and massages and injections where everyone, wants to enhance the outside. Absolutely. Who doesn't want to do that? But again, hey, let's love ourselves first from inside out. Then you'll feel that beauty will protrude outwards.
I love that. That's a lot of what this podcast is all about. I have the good fortune of meeting with people who share their story, share their passion about what they do. I can make comments, I can help maybe navigate that a little bit. But it's been very enriching with each person that I've interacted with, because it brings layers to what I'm hoping to do for a lot of people, and there's so many values that I hear repeated and resonating with the different groups. And I have interviewed people with all kinds of different backgrounds. So it's amazing when similar cares or concerns kind of rise to the top during the conversation. You've also shared with me, and you're a lot younger than me, I admire your mindset. You talked about giving yourself grace, living with grace. Talk about that a little bit, and how your business journey kind of brought you to that understanding.
Yeah. So ever since I can remember, I've always been a perfectionist, and to the point where if I couldn't do something perfect, I wouldn't do it at all. And that was holding me back a lot, because I knew I could do something, but I wouldn't do it because I was afraid I wouldn't be perfect at it. And I had to retrain myself to be like, first of all, what does perfect actually mean? Is perfect even exist? Second, that no matter what I do, perfect it's different in everyone else's eye, or in everyone's eyes, right? So I can either strive to be perfect at everything that I do, or I can let that go, give myself grace and say, hey, if you mess up, try again. Or, hey, if it wasn't perfect that one time or the second time or the third time, try again. But would you rather sit back and not even try than to strive for perfection. And so I had to retrain myself to stop talking to myself that way, right? Because we all have a million thoughts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to release that and again, give myself grace to say, it's okay. Relax.
That's awesome. That's really good. In my book, which I've just released, there are 3 parts. First part is my story. And my mantra when I was changing my family's business was be the best home builder in Chicago. Well, you can't be the best. It's like being perfect. You can't be perfect.
Right.
So being the best, it was kind of my lighthouse. It was the direction that I was moving. But I was astute enough to layer what best meant. And, I would focus on, I touched every single part of my family's business. You asked me about fix your why and what that means.
When I asked why, most of the time it's find your why.
Correct.
Right? So I said, why is it fix your why?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, you talk about everybody's perfect is different. Individualistic, right? Everybody's why is unique to them. And I don't judge what anybody places their focus on and what their why is or what their passion is, right? Fixing your why, there are really 2 dimensions to fix your why. The first is to set a goal for yourself, set a direction for your future. So in navigating ships, boats, you fix to a certain point. The fix it isn't meant to imply that something's broken. Okay. Instead, it's meant to say, what can we do together, or what can you do alone to sharpen your why?
Okay.
So a lot of people will express, if you ask them what's their why. Well, a lot of people really don't know what their why is, right?
It's a hard question to answer.
It is. And then other people will offer an answer about what they believe their why means. And it's not an answer that can guide your intent and your actions. And so that's where the sharpening takes place. It's like, okay, you want to accomplish a certain result. Wonderful. I don't care if it's money driven, if it's status driven, whatever. I mean, again, that's up to each person. But are you speaking to yourself in a way that'll get you to where you want to go? You talked about that, about the negative things that we can say to ourselves. And so it's really speaking very precisely in the moment. It doesn't have to be, there's one thing and it's all about the destination. It's really about the journey.
Right.
It's about loving what you're doing and loving every day. But there's value in sharpening that why. When I was running my family's business, I had this ability. I've tried to describe it in my writing, but I really haven't grasped it yet, but I'm continuing to work on it. But I would literally envision my future, and I would look at different decisions and I would sort of plug those in and I would visualize what that future looked like. That was never my why, and it was never my destination, but in that moment, it made me take the next step in a way that I knew advanced me towards my dreams. So I don't know that why is ever a static answer. I think it's always ever changing.
I agree, especially if you're always growing and learning and willing to develop who you are. Your why is always going to be reaching for that next thing and becoming better and wanting more.
Yep.
And I think that if you stop, then what's the point?
So there's a lot about knowledge there, right? We're constantly expanding our knowledge, I hope, right? We're reading, we're interacting with more people. I mean, here you are moving from the fitness profession now to the spa business. And I'm sure there have been some challenges around some different techniques and different tools that you have to learn. And there's
Many.
probably some new skills that you're learning about how to deal with people.
Absolutely. But I will tell you, I'm thankful for every second of it because I used to never put myself in situations that were uncomfortable because I was, you get nervous and you don't like it and it makes you feel weird. But I now look for those situations to where I'm like, that's an uncomfortable situation. Go throw yourself into it because you're going to learn something. You're going to grow. You're going to come out better on the other side. And that's where I'm in a phase of a period of my life where I just want to be better in every aspect of my life.
That's
So
wonderful.
instead of staying where in my comfortable bubble, I said, all right, pull your big girl pants up. Let's go. Go put yourself over there. That doesn't feel good, but you're going to come out better on the other side.
So tell me, I love it that you're comfortable being uncomfortable. Tell me what the next 3 to 5 years looks like. What is it that you want to achieve either in your career or personally?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. There's a lot.
It is.
There's a lot. 5 years ago, if you would say, I always, and I hate saying this out loud, but I almost was always in the shadows. So I was always, well, if that person, my significant other, is doing really well, I'll just support them and then we'll be good, right? Never did I say, but what do I want? What can I do? And I always knew that I was meant for something more. My biggest fear was to leave this planet, leave this earth, and not have reached my potential because I knew I had so much potential and I just was afraid to go after it. So I guess in the next 3 to 5 years, I want to really just focus on me and my career and build from there because I never focused on Natalia's career. It was always, supporting the person that I'm with. And now that, I'm 33 years old and I'm single and that's okay. But it has really forced me to look within, say, what's going on here? So I guess you asked what was the question? How would you,
What would you like to have accomplished in the next 3 to 5 years, either personally or professionally?
professionally, I would love to make the med spa, thrive and to where one day I can just travel and go lay on a beach and work from my computer. That sounds so great to me, like ideally. And then open up another location to where, I put all the pieces in place to where it's basically running itself.
Okay, great. Two good answers. So let's look at the word thrive. Thrive is like best.
Mhm.
At first it was, I want to be the best home builder in Chicago.
Right.
You can't be the best.
Right.
And so I would focus on a particular aspect of what I did, and I wanted to be the best at it. And I was working with the best. The people with whom you collaborate is a big piece about
Oh yeah.
what you accomplish. Thrive, like best, doesn't really define a destination. The multiple stores that you talk about is a destination.
Sharpening, like
and
you
so
said.
sharpen
Mhm.
thrive is great because it talks about more than a business. It talks about you personally, right?
Mhm.
I mean, you're connected to that word thrive. So the more that you can delayer what is business and what is personal, I think, the more enriched the experience will be for you. In this period of my life, again, I'm an older guy. I've experienced a lot. Significance drives my decision making. I want to live a life of significance. And that's saying that if you love what you do, you won't work a day in your life.
My father always said that to me.
So I want to
Always.
bring the business and the personal together for me.
Mhm.
I want every day, I want to be me being me. I want to love that journey. I
Mhm.
want to love what I'm doing every day. Some days I have crazy schedules. It can be taxing, but I'm still being me.
Mhm.
I try to be the person that controls what I do and how I do it, even
Yeah.
though, the more successful we are, the more people that want to tell us how to live our lives, right?
Mhm.
So, the thriving piece, I love that word because it has an energy
Mhm.
behind it. And I believe the more that you can kind of sharpen both how that moves your energy, but also how it focuses your activities to accomplish what you want in your
Yeah.
business, I think it'll be a
Yeah.
great ride.
And like you said, what hit me is you said, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's where I'm at in my life right now. I love every second of it
That's awesome.
because I feel in my element and I feel in control and I feel that I am making a difference and this is where I'm meant to be. And, I went on vacation a couple months ago and I didn't even want to go because I just wanted to stay and work. And I've never felt like that before, but I love it. I love it. And I think when you have a passion like that, you're going to get to that destination, right? And then from
Yeah,
that destination, you build another one, you create another, you keep moving the needle, right? Like you
yeah,
said.
I love it.
And so, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for being a part of this.
absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your story. We're definitely going to stay in touch. I look forward to
Yes.
seeing how your Thrive expands and how the
It
results
will.
change.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you at the next episode of Fix Your Why. Have a great day.